Greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard in the Philippines with the truth. You know, I hope you've been checking out that award show. I know it's very long, but if you did not wait to the end to see it or see the end of it, you're really missing something. Right now, I'm in downtown Dumaguete. I'm going to show you more of it in a second, but I want to point out right across the street is immigration. And buying a newspaper is very, very hard. And this is one of the only places in town where I buy my newspaper. This is like a sorry store, I guess you might say. It's open pretty much all the time. It carries a lot of your essentials.
He's the best out here, man. She only overcharges us hardly. One of them cans soda, please, mama.
That's right.
Mama, anything, man. Anything you give me is good.
Is it good?
That soda right here is 50 cents. Soda's $1.
You're not in a hood, sir. No, you're not.
And my dear friend owns it. This is my friend. Say hello, say hello, say hello, how are you, okay? It's been a long time, so I always come in and buy newspapers. Like I said, this is one of the very few places that you can buy them. They're usually, oh, three, I need three. I need three. Okay. Okay. Usually, the paper is a day old. But it doesn't make a difference to me, because I may not read it for 3 more days. But whenever I read it, I know it'll be news to me. Okay. Say hello to my American friend.
Yeah, hello.
So what's your name?
I'm Jamie. Just call me Jen.
Okay, so when you're in Dumaguete, stop and see Jen. And catch the rest of the food. Okay, bye Jen. Okay, you know, the last 2 videos, I did a video of me taking the dogs to the vet. Well, today is my day to go to the doctor. Actually, I'm going to a dentist. So hopefully I get to interview my dentist. So come on with me, we'll see what's going to happen. Hi, good morning, girlfriend. How are you? Oh, okay.
Anybody there? Good day, sir. What seems to be the problem? Say no more, honey baby. I just need you to sign this. Autograph this. Oh, and fill these out too.
Say hello to my vloggers. Say hello. So what's your name again?
Mimi.
Jenny?
Mimi.
Lily.
Mimi.
Mimi.
Lily?
Mimi.
Mimi.
Minnie. Oh, see, you're supposed to say Minnie, like Minnie Mouse. So, the first thing that you do is come in here and they have you put on slippers. For obvious reasons, they don't want you to bring dirt and want to keep the floor relatively clean. Now, you know, most of my doctors that I've always had, even my first dentist, I'm having some teeth pulled. So, all my, when I was in Cebu, my dentist was a female. When I was in America, my dentist was a female. And so it just so happens that now I am in Dumaguete and my dentist is also female. For some reason or another, I trust female doctors more than I do men. I don't know why, but they just seem to be a lot more sincere than men are. So as I was talking about the video of the award show, I know there's a lot of gaps in it. You know, I know there's a lot of rough editing in it, but that's okay. It's my first one. You're learning with me, and you know that's what life is about. Just as I learn to better myself and better my skills, you got to suffer through the rough parts. So anyway, we got a new dog. I will show you her. Her name is Ichiban. Ichiban is Japanese for number one. And Ichiban, the name I got from a friend of mine in California who had a pit bull. I'm not going to go into the story, long story, because I don't know when they're going to call me in. But anyway, he had a dog named Ichiban, and I like the name Ichiban, so that's why I named her Ichiban. So we're going to be going in. You know, she wears a mask all the time, and I asked her, I said, can I see your face? She's like, no. She said, go on my Facebook. So I'm going to try to interview her and try to get her to show her face. Why? Because she's also a beautiful Filipino. You know, all of them are just beautiful. So anyway, so other than that, we're just going to sit here and just wait. I'll start telling the story about Frank. When I was in California, I worked for the California Food and Agriculture. It was the most strangest job I ever had because I was coming from New York and California, and this was during the medfly infestation. Tell me the title, baby.
To make sure that all pathways for spread of a medfly infestation in the Panorama City area of Los Angeles County are removed. CDFA has enlisted the services of the California Conservation Corps in an intensive door-to-door search for medfly host material, which is pretty much any fruit tree. Now, the medfly is among the most damaging invasive species to agriculture. The risk is that adult females will lay eggs in fruit, and the developing larvae will then render the fruit inedible. So Conservation Corps members work as a team to help remove the threat one piece of fruit at a time. And that's one of many ways the agency works to protect the natural resources of our state. CDFA is very pleased to be able to partner with the Corps in this effort to eradicate the medfly from Los Angeles County and in the process protect all of California.
This was during the medfly infestation. The medfly was ruining a lot of California crops. So what they had us doing was hanging traps in host trees. Now, my coming from New York, I couldn't tell an orange tree from an apple tree. You know, so or what kind of tree bear fruit that the medfly would use as a host. It would bore itself into the fruit, lay eggs, and then multiply. So and it gave me carte blanche to walk on anybody's property, you know, show them my badge, and say I went to California Food and Agriculture. Go in your backyard and hang up these traps. So I went to this one backyard and I met this guy named Frank. Frank was he was a hippie. I guess the best way to describe him. He was short, long hair, dirty looking, like this, and he was homesteading this house, meaning that it wasn't a house, but the person who owned it allowed him to just stay there, I guess. But he stayed there, and he was growing sesame plants. Sesame is at this time was a very high potent marijuana. And by being a photographer and doing stories, I said, look, you know, I like to document the growth of the sesame. So he agreed. Not only that, I always stopped there for lunch because I know he didn't have the money. I know he's always hungry. And I'll bring him food like this, and we would sit and we would talk. And of course, Ichiban would be running around. And he would both tell me the most funniest stories. You know, he liked to drink. He was I don't want to say alcoholic, but he drank. And he was one of those angry drunks. He was one of those drunks that when he got drunk, he wanted to fight. And he was short. And, you know, and I used to always laugh. He said, Gerard, he says, I may get my ass beat all the time, but you know what? I always get in the first punch. So it always cracked me up that was his claim to fame, was to get in the first punch. So anyway, so I watched him, cut the male leaves from the female leaves and grooming it, bending the plant down so it wouldn't grow up high so people wouldn't see it. The whole process of him growing marijuana. And so it was time to harvest, and he was going to harvest it the next day. And the day before, he saw that somebody came into his yard and stole all his plants. And he was hurt. I mean, if you know anything about, people who live off of crops, like farmers or whatever it is, having all your work, time, effort, blood, sweat, tears stolen from you is devastating. It was devastating to him. And he followed the plant trail where whoever took it, the leaves were falling on the ground. And it led to the house next door. So it just so happens that the person who lived next door was the sheriff. And the sheriff's son was the one who stole the plants. So while we were following the trail, he saw the guys, hey, come here, I got a guitar. I want to sell. So
Abandoned ship! Oh, it's you.
Hello, Rabbit.
What's up, Doc?
Don't play dumb. We both know what this is about.
Tax evasion?
What? No.
Loitering?
No.
Oh, loiter?
No. Maybe this will refresh your memory.
He knew the kid was a musician. So the kid came over, and when he came over, Frank pushed him in a chair and said, "Pow, he stole my plants," and he's hitting this guy. And I'm like, I got nothing to do with this. I'm taking pictures, because I'm doing this story, like whatever, I feel I'm exempt from whatever activity was going on. So anyway, so Frank finally let him go and said, "Get out of here." And so, Frank had gotten arrested. And so Frank called me and said, "Gerard," he said, "there's a warrant out for your arrest." I said, "What? For what?" He said, "For what happened at my house." I said, "Wow." I said, "Okay, well, let me go down to San Jose, California's police precinct and straighten this all out." So it was on Friday. So when I went to tell him, "Look, excuse me, that warrant is all a mistake. I had nothing to do with it. I was just taking pictures." "Okay, that's fine. You can tell it to the judge on Monday." I said, "Monday?"
Know to you, I may look old. Hope this statement ain't too bold, but here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
Today's Friday. I got to stay in jail next year. I said, "Oh, man." Then I learned a very valuable lesson. Never turn yourself in on a Friday, because you'll stay in jail on Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So I learned that valuable lesson. So anyway, so they ended up fining me, I think like $700, and it got dismissed once I showed them my evidence of what I was doing here. So I didn't get charged for anything. So like I said, he had the dog Ichiban, and I always admired him because, the name Ichiban. Now, I have a phrase I always say when it's your birthday or what have you, and the phrase is, "May your highs always be." So some of you who I acknowledge your birthday, I always say to you, "May your highs always be." And that is from Frank, because I took a picture of Frank, harvesting his plants, and he had his 22 on his side, and I printed a picture, and he autographed one to me, and that's what he autographed it to me, saying that "May your highs always be." And I carry that on because, to me, that's a very profound statement that whatever your highs are, whatever your high points are, may they always be just that good high points in your life. So anyway, and that's where I got that phrase from. Now, you see, I always talk about, people, what makes us all different. And what makes us all different is that no two people can have the same experience or have the same influence as another person would. So because of that, we all interact in the world differently in our own trails through life that no two people have the same, and because of that, no two people can be the same, and that's what makes us all different. So, anyway, so I always remember Franklin, and my always saying, "May your highs always be," is my paying homage to him. So, and the fact that I named my German Shepherd puppy Ichiban is another tribute. Helen, who is my husky, she is named after my aunt who passed away, whose name is Helen, and so that's where I named her. And Okimi is another Japanese name that someone had a dog named Okimi. I can't remember who it was, but Okimi also means light.
No.
So come here.
You need to go. This is not allowed for them.
Well, okay. We have some of the kids in Cebu, P.B.G. They walk around asking for money, so yeah. Here we go. You're welcome. Bye bye. It's not much, but it's enough to make him happy. So, what I'm going to do is pause right here, and I'll be coming back with you. And I hear India drilling, so I'm having tea for. I wanted to do a video outside the market before they pulled my teeth, so that way I can talk to you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk to you after they pull my teeth, but, we will see. We will see. So, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so right now I finally got called into the dentist's office, and I want to introduce you to my dentist. Tell her your name, doctor.
What? I'm Mylene. Ganun pa. Yeah.
Are you going to show us your face?
No.
She said, no, go to Facebook, right? Okay, so tell everybody how long you've been a dentist.
Like since 2003
2003?
until now.
And where'd you study?
In Dumaguete.
In Dumaguete? I was speaking to someone, and someone once told me that the best way of getting out of the Philippines is become a doctor. Do you have desires to practice abroad or anything like that?
Schooling, continuing education, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, are you married?
Yeah.
But the important question, are you happily married?
What a question.
Okay, so what?
So what is this? Is this a vlog for
Yeah,
vlog?
it's my vlog. It's also promotion for your dentistry.
For me?
Yeah. So tell everybody where they can find you at.
What do you mean? Like,
on Facebook.
yeah, just log into my Facebook, like my real girlfriend.
Okay, I will post it on the video. Now, one last question.
Yeah.
How long did you want to be a dentist? Was this a childhood dream of yours of wanting to be a dentist?
For me, yeah, it's my childhood dream.
Okay, so what advice would you give someone about following their dreams and their goals? Because your dream as a child was to be a dentist.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone about following their dreams and their goals?
It depends on, right now the technology are changing, and the young kids are exposed to that technology. And I do believe like computer people are like more linked into computer, the IT. And then I asked some of the young people, do you want to be in a technology?
Mm-hmm.
And only few wants to be a dentist or a doctor. Yeah, even my son, I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, so
what are some of the things you had to sacrifice to be a dentist? I mean, did you sacrifice
a lot.
But it was worth it, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's hard to be a dentist in the Philippines, but like compared to America, it's totally different because the dentists in America, they just work only for 4 days, and the rest will be the leisure days.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But here it's different. You have to because it's something like a calling or a passion. If it becomes your passion, that's the thing. I mean, you always think of a patient's, needs. Yeah, like
Okay.
if they're in pain.
Now, someone once told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but they said that they recycle the teeth from people who have died.
Talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
Is this true?
Yeah, I've heard, like, I encounter some of my patients. You mean a quack doctor? Did the link to that? Yeah,
They do?
Yeah.
I think it may let you in on a Filipino secret. Okay, so what we're going to do...
Especially if you live, Gerard, in a remote area.
Right, okay.
Okay, so, and sad to say, some of the Filipinos are not well educated about, dental needs. And, okay, a lot of factors like, like the economic reason, and they live in the mountain, so they're not exposed to medical and dental care. So they always rely on quack doctor. And then I'm really so sad to know that some of the people are into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah,
So what we're going to do with me today? Are we pulling teeth or what? How are my teeth?
I forgot.
Wait. You've looked into my mouth.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So what do you think about the type of dental care I've received in the United States compared to what I would have received here in the Philippines? I have a lot of caps about this.
Actually, it's the same because in my practice here, I'm following we make or design a treatment plan for the patient, but it's really up to the patient throughout. So and it depends. Number one, it's economic. If we cannot, we have so many options, or we need to disclose everything. What are the options are? And if the patient's budget are,
Okay, yeah.
they have to sacrifice their teeth.
Like my budget right now, mine are just small.
Because in the Philippines, food is always the priority.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
but I know in America, it's totally different. But yeah, I mean, it's up to the patient. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to stop
All
right here.
all I need is disclose everything. The options.
Right, yes, you did that with me.
Yes.
You covered the whole gamut.
And you have to think it over,
Yeah, I have to think, yes, because...
What did
And then I also thought about my longevity, remember? I don't need to have something that's going to last for 30 years when I don't plan to be here for another 5.
Yeah, and I always encourage my patient to limit their sugar intake.
Yeah.
And their carbohydrates intake, especially sugar.
Yeah.
Because we know sugar is the culprit of everything.
Which is better, white sugar or brown sugar? I hear different things. I hear...
No, I don't like both.
okay.
Because I'm trying to get rid of my sugar. Because honestly, we have our body, we don't need a lot of sugar in our body.
Yeah.
So it affects our body system, including the teeth. So for example, if the patient's mouth is a mess up and their teeth are not in good shape, so for sure the body system is not in good shape. So we can see it when they open their mouth, that there's something wrong inside. Yeah, so just avoid it.
Okay.
And some people, they cannot accept it because of
The truth hurts, that's why.
Because they always said they have a sweet tooth. So,
Yeah, sure.
And I cannot force them or even you.
Well, I've cut down on my sugar tremendously. I used to eat a lot of sweets, and I cut down a lot. I still there's this one cookie I love. But good thing in the store, out of stock, Gerard. I said, oh, okay, good. I'm not having to eat no cookies. That's the best way for me to stop, is for them to run out of stock.
Yeah, brushing, cut the sugar, flossing, then floss and brush, and drink water as much as we can, and no colored juices or sweetener.
Wow, okay.
And I know you hate it, but
Yeah. Well, you didn't say no tango why, so I'm okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay, you're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. And right now, we're going to get to work. And I visit her Facebook.
Why?
You don't have many full body pictures on your Facebook.
I do.
I gotta take another look. Okay, so let's get to work, doctor. Okay.
I like a vlog in it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we don't need to watch it. Do you want to videotape the process or
No.
no?
Because
No. Okay.
we need to concentrate.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, share, and like. And I'll be right back. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Should take better care of your teeth. You have quite a cavity here. Is it safe? Look, I call you
Okay. I hope you enjoyed my trip to the dentist. There was a couple of more things I wanted to tell you. You remember I was talking about my trip to jail in San Jose? Well, it wasn't uneventful. This was a time before they had digital cameras. Whenever they took pictures of you, they used a photo booth. You know, photo booth where you sit inside like at an amusement park, and you sit inside and 5 shots be taken of you. Well, they put me inside that booth, and each time the shot went off, I went I made 5 different faces. So when they would come, step out the booth, I stepped out and stood like this, and I waited. And when the pictures came and dropped into the slot, the police officer picked up and says, "What is this?" He said, "Look what he did. Look what he did." And they all laughed because I had made all these crazy faces for that. But also, Ichiban. Ichiban. Oh, I was also telling you what Ichiban meant. I told you what Okimi means. You know, no, Ichiban means number 1. Ichiban, come. Ichiban. Okimi means the most brightest light. So that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, come here. Ichiban, come.
She's
Come,
hiding.
Ichiban. Ichiban, where? Where is she?
She's hiding there.
Oh, is she hiding?
Yeah.
Come on, Ichiban.
Yeah.
Where?
There.
Yeah, come on. Come on, Ichiban. Let's see the bread come out. She's kind of cowering because I just spanked her ass for going to the bathroom inside the house. So she's kind of bashful, right? I think she's shy now. So anyway, yeah. So I wanted to tell you about that. What the 2 meant, and also while I was in the jail in San Jose, there was a guy who obviously had some type of mental condition, and it was like looking inside of the mind of a rapist, because all he did was pace up and down the dorm saying, "When they wear those dresses and the sun comes shining through." When they wear those dresses and the sun comes shining through. When they wear those dresses and the sun comes shining through. I was like, whoa, my God. I'm sitting on the bench and I'm just watching this guy. That's the only thing he was saying. I said, wow. I said, this guy has got to be a rapist. So anyway, so as you see, I can talk because I didn't have any dental work done. The doctor and I, we sat and we chatted and we talked about the treatment plan and all this stuff and how much it's going to cost and what have you. We ended up having a lovely conversation. My YouTube, I gave him my YouTube, my Facebook, and things of that nature. And then I said, okay, I'll make a down payment. I said, I'll give you a down payment on the treatment. So I peeled out 8,000 pesos and I handed it to her. She said, no, I don't touch money. I said, what? I said, you are the only Filipino girl I ever met who said that you don't touch money. She said, no, I got gloves on. So I laughed at that she said she don't touch money. But anyway, her and I ended up having a great conversation. So the funny thing is, and the real kick in the head is, when we were walking out, I was talking to Mia. I said, yeah, Mia, it's going to cost about $95,000 to fix my teeth. She said, what? I said, yeah, but don't worry, they do it in stages. So she said, did she clean your teeth or something like this? I said, no, I just paid 8,000 pesos. She said, you paid the 8,000 pesos for what? I said, well, you know what? I think I just paid her 8,000 pesos just to talk to her. That's how much of a sap I am and how much a pushover I am. But don't forget to go to her Facebook and just tell her that you saw her on Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. So I wanted to throw this in there and here so I can finish the video and post it for you. And again, if you did not watch the end of my award show, you're missing a treat. I know it's long, but what the hell? Okay? So remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly and always pull someone up. And sometimes you'll be the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. Mia, you living good today?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of The Temptations, once sung, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make me feel like a king. I wonder, when I asked that doctor, when she told me she was married, and I asked her, are you happily married? She said, I'm not going to answer that. I said, wow, that's the first time I heard someone say that. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, post, and like. And remember, I will always love you more. I'll talk to you later. Peace.